Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. I'm definitely not recording this full episode tonight. It is very late. I've just been on doing a bunch of prep work, and I kind of did so much that I'm gonna forget all the prep work I did if I don't do this right now. So I'm just gonna do like a little thing. Anyways, last time, major thing was getting together a lot of the resources that we're going to need to build the ATM Star Forge. That's what it's called, Runic Star Altar. And at this point, all we're missing is the Runic Star Altar itself, this is going to be a problem. That's probably also tomorrow's problem when I record the rest of this video. But we were putting this forge to work, getting all those bits and pieces, as well as continuing on with some of the stuff in here. Like, we managed to fill out quite a few more of these things. Obviously, like, the super high-end stuff is still really expensive, so can't afford all of that just yet. But a bunch of cybernetic upgrades, the cybernetic tools, the Prometheum stuff, and all that good stuff. Still don't have the railgun, although I really want to get it. It looks really cool. Uh, I'll go over that in a moment. Anyways, I think that's about it. What happened between episodes? So, thanks to our friend Zedgorn Kyle, because apparently you can crush up plutonium into the plutonium. So that's slow. I also went just mining for more of it, but I got plenty of plutonium. In fact, I now have over a stack and a bit of it, which is all the pellets we need for this stuff. So, yeah. There's the plutonium for both of those. On top of that, I went ahead and got a bunch more Heisenberg compensators and made a bunch more promethium. That stuff's just super expensive. It takes a while, but I figured I was already on here letting stars build up anyway. Which, speaking of which, I am now six 2 times stars away, and even those are like getting there. It's about, like, if I'm right, it's about to be 5, right? I want to say that that's going to push us over the little hump there. Yes, it is. So yeah, less than less than 5 full 2 times nether star blocks. We're very, very close. So stars are building up. Those are getting pretty close. And I got a bunch of the stuff that we're going to need for some of these last few expensive things. Actually, if I just grab out 4 stars, I somehow had the exact amount I needed. We can start up the projects a force field woven from spatial anomalies, grants plus 8 armor points, the Aegis system. I mean, you just have a cool name like Aegis going on. Of course, I just want it anyways. That one still needs ion thrusters. That's still a no-go for now. This one still needs ion thrusters, and those are the only 2 ones here. So, 2 minutes there. Let me go check the reactor. 37.5. It's going to be close, but I think that we'll be able to make it to the end of the series without having to get more power in. So, there's that. Anyways, that's most of that stuff. As soon as that's done, that'll be all well and good. I will check that out. But I also just built the refinery. This thing, I've been meaning to build it for a while. I just keep putting it off. I thought it emptied itself for a moment and got a bit concerned. So basically, it's a bunch of resources we've already seen or already used. Takes a bunch of stuff you've seen a million times before and put it all together to produce the refinery. Which, when we take a bunch of this crude oil that we already had over at the refinery, you run it through here with some of the catalyst things to make it a little bit better. Let me, I don't remember exactly what the thing is called. Light Nafra. These clay catalyst beads are also super cheap, but you run that through with that stuff here, and you get to like the 4 types here. We only care about the light Nafra. I do not care about anything else, basically. So light Nafra here, and this stuff. It appears that, like, the models for this thing are somewhat broken. Like, that's not working correctly. So, this light Nafra stuff here, when used with Oh yes, it is the carbon fiber strands. I was going to say that, and then I was second guessing myself. That gets run through like so. 240 ticks later, it is going to produce... I didn't realize how long 240 ticks was at first, I guess, so it took a little bit longer than expected. 50, or 500 rather, which means we're going to get 8 of these reinforced carbon sheets, which they have a couple of uses. You can use them for duradium, but who's going to do that when you could just use netherite? And you can get ion thrusters out of these things. The 2 of these things, a flux gate, and an advanced battery. I forgot about that one. Thankfully, I have a bunch of this stuff left over as well. Advanced batteries. I thought I saved over here, but I don't see them. I had the enderic laser there. I really don't have the advanced battery, huh? Oh well. Advanced... Oh yeah, it's steel, not plastic. You do need a single piece of plastic, but once again, why didn't I save that right there? I'm a goofball. Save that recipe. So, advanced battery. That goes in like so, and this will be our first 2. Yeah, that's still going. But in turn, we now have our first 2 things. Ion thrusters. There we go. That basically means nothing. We still need 14 more of them for the flash step, which I guess I can do right now. 32 more of them. Overclocks biological systems with redundant nanomachines. Boost maximum HP by 10. I mean, that sounds pretty nice. That's not too bad. 32 of... Well, 32 of these things, right? I mean, that could be worse. I think I should... Yeah. Sadly, this thing is kind of slow to run because I have to run it all manually right now. This one might be the easiest one to automate, but I don't have it automated yet, is basically what I mean. Just give me a full stack of that stuff. That will go in like so. And I'm just going to keep running crude oil through. Sadly, this thing can't hold very much, and I'm going to need to come up with something for the sulfuric acid and the diesel. But if I just let this thing run for a little bit longer, get a bunch more of those carbon sheets, that will be pretty good. I want to at least get flashed up before I end off here. One more Heisenberg compensator. I think I had a couple extras. Here they are. I don't think I need these for anything. So that will be 10 extra max HP, or 5 extra... Oh wait, no, that's the armor. That's the max HP. Let me try and get enough of the ion thrusters for the flash step before I end off tonight, because that should be relatively doable. I thought I put in 4. Oh, okay, I thought I put in 4 bits of crude oil there, but I guess I only did 3. Let me just run a bunch of this stuff through. I'm not going to stay on much longer, though. Whoops. Using this thing is a little bit difficult. I need to grab some fluid pipes and just, like, set them up on, like, 3 singularity tanks real quick. I think it should just be that simple. Okay, it took me a couple moments to set this up a little bit better. Apparently, you need to use the specific fluid pipes from this mod. So, thankfully, they're pretty cheap, but it took me a second to try and work through how to get it working. Also, I think I'm just going to use buckets to move the crude fluid in. I can technically automate that even with just like a basic fluid pipe, but I can't control it being always thousands or 500s. So that's just a little bit more reliable, making sure that I can just clear this thing and use something else in instead. Let's just go like so. This is 2 per, yeah. Okay. Like so. And grab advanced batteries, as many as possible. And with that, that will, when all these run through, it is 2 per, right? Like, I think I did the math on it, and for every 1 reinforced carbon, it is 1 ion thruster, or 2 for 2, as it is actually here. So, in just a few moments, that should be all the ion thrusters we're going to need for that upgrade. And when that's done, I'm shutting down for the night, so I'll see you when we're all good there in a moment. I guess I should probably just make sure this thing is running through with the rest of the carbon plates while I wait, because if we can hit the 32, that's not going to happen tonight, but it would be kind of nice if we could get that as well before reaching the end of this episode even, or at least the end of the series. So I'll see you when this thing's done with ion thrusters. It's only going to be another moment or two. Okay, 16 ion thrusters acquired. Also, I just read this cool little tooltip here. Apparently, if you have all of the full modules built on top of each other, that's what gets you all three outputs. But apparently, if you have one module, it will double the output of the second output. Since the second one is the light naphtha, and that's really the only one we care about, I don't need the third one. And in fact, doing it this way will get us extra light naphtha, which will be super good. So I guess that's how we're going to do it from now on. Actually, I want to test this real quick. Like, just to make sure, like, I'm not misunderstanding what that says, right? There's 2 buckets of crude oil through. Currently, that's 500 light naphtha. Oh, yeah, it's a full bucket now. Before, it was like 500, right? Like, you get 5, or 0.5 diesel versus 1,000 light naphtha now. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I'll just start more of this running through. So let's go start up this thing, shall we? That and that can both go in there. What else am I missing? 16 flux gates. I know I have the extra ones here around here somewheres. Wait, hold on, what? 16 flux gates. That's the only thing missing. I know I'd made a... I had made, like, bunches and bunches of extra flux gates. Did I accidentally use them up for something else instead? Or did I leave them... Oh, I left them in there. Okay, that explains it. So, with that, Flash Step is apparently just like a little... a massive movement speed boost, toggleable via augment interface. So, that's going to run through... I'm going to wait for that thing to finish up so that we can actually see how good it is. And that's where we're probably going to end off for real now. Okay, so I set up a few more things to go. There's a bunch of those now. In fact, I'm not going to keep doing this. I could wait for like the last few things and get this one as well. But I'm not going to. I already said we're ending off when we got this thing. So, there's Flash Step acquired. Oh yeah, that's you can tell based on how much the FOV changes from a speed boost, how good it's going to be. And that feels pretty, that feels pretty good. Let's see. I kind of wish I didn't have step assist right there. So, let's wait for it to hit 530. 1676. How far can I go in 10 seconds? 5. Well, that's not really a good test, but it took us 5 seconds to go about 100 blocks. It would have even been better than that if I didn't hit the water. So, yeah, that seems pretty effective. Flashed up is that one. 3. Oh, yeah, that's literally, that's like speed 2, I think. Probably pretty accurate. Yeah, that feels pretty nice to have around. But anyways, I think that's where I'm gonna call it for the night. Just need 3 more energy. No, why do I always do this? Like, I always know that this is just how I am. I was like, I just need to shut down. It's late. I don't want to do this. It is legitimately after midnight. But I was like, but there's a cool thing right there. I can get it right now, but just like a little bit more work. Dang it. I'm just missing one nether star. Ah, fine. Fine. We're gonna get the 5 extra hearts just to see how expensive, like, the things after it are. So there's that. I went a little bit too far. Still need another star. Actually, I did realize you could just turn around and click the thing as well. That just works. So that's going to take a minute and a bit. These are going to get turned into these, get turned into these. Why do I do this? No, I am shutting down after I see how expensive, like, the last things on the list are going to be. Actually, that doesn't even unlock anything more besides the psionic strikes. We can't get that right now anyways. It'll basically just be seeing how expensive 5 extra hearts is and how expensive psionic strike is. Oh, sure, I'll see you in another moment. Why do I do this every time? Okay, so apparently we just have like a layer of super expensive stuff hiding pretty cheap stuff. So just 4 more energite. There we go, 5 extra max hearts at all times. And psionic strikes. Channels psionic energy into devastating kinetic strikes. Grants +6. It is super cheap. Super, super easy. Super, super easy. Begin research. 2.5 minutes, and that's just an extra +6 attack damage. We can just deal with that tomorrow. But step assist adds 0.6 block step height. That's basically walk over fences without trying. That is not necessary. Although it is super cheap. The mining speed would be nice. The magnet, all that stuff would be nice. But this is the more important stuff, in my opinion. So I'm going to keep working. I'm probably going to be on for another few hours at some point working on some of the rest of this. There's 16 more buckets worth of light naphtha. 2, 3, 4. Each one of those is equal to 2 of these things. In fact, come on. The fact that you can take buckets out of it is both a blessing and a curse like that. So yeah, each bucket is worth 2 of these. 2 of these is equal to 1 thruster. We need 64. Yeah, we need 64 buckets of light naphtha, I believe. It's each 1 to 1, these to ion thrusters. We need 64 ion thrusters, means we need 64 of these. So 64 of those, it's 2 per bucket. So 32 buckets of this. In fact, I should be able to do that with just like the stuff I've already run through. In worst case scenario, I run a bit more. Only problem is it takes a while. You know what? I need to end off. It is after midnight now. I'll see you tomorrow when I record the rest of this. This was just going to be like 10 minutes. It ended up closer to 20. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm back next day. I've been on for a little bit longer, obviously dealing with some of the things I said I was going to. Stars have built up some more, and in fact, as soon as I press the right button to get into the computer system and pull out the rest of the nether stars we have in here, this should in fact be officially 15 3 times nether stars. That's the wrong one. That goes back in there. That's what I want to do. So 9 1 times, 9 2 times, 15 3 times nether stars. So, officially, that one's all completed. That says 17. Just to double check, that's not like a misprint somewhere, right? No, it is 15. They must have changed it at some point. But, this can get checked off. There's all that stuff completed. Oh, those are 1 times blocks. I'm still not going to complete that one, because technically it's not done. No, these are awakened ones, which you need to get in the... You need the star altar for anyways. So, truly, that leaves... The words are hard. Just building the altar and awakening those vibranium alloy blocks, and then everything goes together. So, that's really, really cool. These can all just go in there. Not that I actually have any more projection matrices. But anyways, other than that little bit of pieces, I kept running this thing for a bit. I now have a bunch of extra reinforced carbon sheets, and actually already took a bunch to turn into ion thrusters. So with that, we can now start up researching flight. That's going to take 3 minutes, a bunch of promethium wind charges, all that good stuff. Begin researching. I also do have the stuff I need for psionic strikes, so now we have +6 attack damage. And I completed the step assist. I completed hyper mining speed, and I completed the magnets. Across all of them, it was just a bunch of the same basic resources we've already made, and then like 64 energite ingots, and that was all the expensive stuff. But with that, we now have permanent night vision, we have step assist, and we have like a magnet, what I think is just like things go... I think it's just like a basic magnet effect. Pulls nearby items towards the player. Cool. Out of curiosity, okay, we can just do like a step up a single block without having to worry about it. That works perfectly fine. Oh yeah, it's 0.6 additional jump walk up height. That makes sense considering you can already walk up a half block. So in fact, I think we might still be able to just step right over a fence, no problem. Okay, no, fences are still just too high to just step over without any assistance. But even without our armor, we have almost full diamond the rank. We have like plenty of extra hearts. And we can do 40 damage with like a max out punch. Yeah, we're feeling pretty powerful here. Oh yes, that extra bit of promethium. I need that one for ore sites. Like, once this one is done, sadly they're both arcane, I'm going to start up Ore Vision, which highlights nearby ores through walls. That's going to take 2.5 minutes, or slightly over. 32 Enduric lasers, a spyglass, a bit of promethium, and a skulk sensor. Pretty cheap in the grand scheme of things. So that's essentially the rest of these done. I don't know how expensive these 3 are going to be. It's going to take a bit before I can actually look at the expenses on them. I have some extra resources. It could just be the case where I have the resources, it's just going to take a few minutes to get them running through, because I do have plenty of stuff left over. The only thing I would be worried about right now would be plastic, so I should probably start more of that running up. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the centrifuge. I actually realized I do have a use for the, there's my buckets, for the rest of the sulfuric acid I accidentally produced. Basically, I can just go ahead and put these in here. And if I go ahead and make a couple more, or grab a couple dubious containers, 1,000 millibuckets and a dubious container actually gets us the advanced batteries, and I don't have to go through the whole song and dance of making them. So this is actually significantly cheaper than the other way we were doing it. So that's just a cool little thing I found. 10 seconds. Come on. Come on. 7, 6, 5, 4. Is this just creative style flight? It is creative style flight. Cool. So that's pretty cheap. 4 extra ion thrusters isn't too bad. Reduces gravity effect. Oh, that's super cheap. I just need to get the stuff together. So let's start up Ore Vision going. Let me get the stuff I need for 4 extra things. I figured I was probably going to need more, which is why I saved some resources. I need... Where are my flux gates? There we go. I accidentally built the exact right number of flux gates, too. Because I need 4, so that's 2 of those. Ion thrusters. I'm forgetting the last thing. Oh, yes, it's the advanced batteries, which I also have plenty of extra. So with that, we'll have the extra creative flight mode. That's just still going. And I guess I should probably just get that stuff together. That's also arcane. This is quantum, I think. Or... Actually, it doesn't say. I could have sworn it was going to. I guess it probably said missing the whatever type of research station it needed before we had the research station upgrades. So... I'm gonna need to get the stuff to build more coils. I don't think I have enough nickel on me. Steel... I'm going to need fluxite, and I keep forgetting what the last thing it needs is. Phantom membranes, that's right. Phantom membranes, thank you. I love how I said I wasn't going to spend too much more time on this in videos, and then I proceeded to spend like another half episode on this in video. You know what, that's fine. It doesn't really matter too much. So as soon as... Yep, as soon as this one finishes up in a minute, we'll be able to start up Reduce Gravity. That thing should be done with these. Thank you. So in turn, we also have another form of flight, which means, hold on. I'm assuming I can turn that on and off, right? Flight is currently on. Yep, just... Okay, it does have, like, the floaty effect like you would expect from, like, basic creative flight. Okay. But technically speaking, this flight is still probably better, just because it gives you further control. Like, you can control exactly when you stop and start. So, there we go. I really, really enjoy this system. Like, this is really cool. I'll see you in 20 seconds when I can start up the research gravity and see how expensive the ore vision and the cloak is going to be. Okay, reduced gravity is currently going. This just requires 4 more enduric lasers, relatively simple. 8 Eyes of Ender, 8 diamonds, and 16 enduric lasers. And it's just true invisibility, which I don't really care about, but I might as well complete it anyways. So, essentially I just need 24 more of those, which I have. It's just going to take a little bit to run through. Where are my... Oh, there's my enduric compounds. I'm going to need more of these. I wasn't expecting to... Never mind, I'm not going to need more of these. So, 28. I don't know, I said 24, didn't I? That, and that. That will run through. So, when that's done, I should have enough for ore vision, should have enough for cloak. Cloak's probably going to require a couple extra. And that's still a minute out. So, while we're just waiting on that, building the runic star altar, that's the final other thing we want to get done today. So, we have the Munda Bitter, we have the Polished Darkstone, we have the loot bag, Enderium Gears, Quantum Injector. Oh, wait, no, we already have a Quantum Injector as well. I forgot to keep some of this stuff separated. The Munda Bitter, that I don't have any Polished Darkstone on me, but it's relatively simple to grab. Loot bag's up there already. 2 Enderium Gears. Let's go grab some of the Enderium Essence we started growing last time. Just because I don't feel like going hunting to make sure I actually have more. So that is going to be 2 Enderium Gears. Simple enough. That can join that group of stuff. Runic Star Altar. That's those, and 2 Z Logic controllers. And then it's the Enhancer Relic. We'll deal with that later on. 2 of these things. Requires this thing. And these things. Those are the only things that we don't already have. Slice and Spice. Words are hard. So, this. I have the skull. I already have the skulls in there. Cool. 2 energized bimetals. That's going to be Iron Gears and Energetic Alloy, Electrum, and Glowstone. I don't know how much of that I'm going to need. Let's just do a full stack of this stuff. That's probably going to be a little overkill, but you know what? It's probably going to be worth it, just to make sure we can just do this right away. So that'll be what we need for these, because that's just all Energetic Alloy. And then it's... Hold on. And it's going to be an ensouled thing, which is soul chains and solarium, and then it's solarium, and then you need solarium. Okay, so how do we get this soul chains? Hey, would you look at that? Quartz dust, solarium. How do we get this stuff? Alloy, soul sand, and gold. Okay, then. I think I looked at all that stuff last night and I forgot. Or I looked at it yesterday and forgot. I don't quite remember. But it really is just as simple as using the alloy machine a couple of times, and essentially that's all we're missing. I thought I saved some soul sand up here, but I guess I didn't save more than a couple of pieces, so let's run on home real quick. Soul sand, that's peat. Why does it have to look more like borderline identical? Soul. There's soil. I know I had a bunch left over because I was killing a bunch of withers and then I put it away. Here it is. So, I think just a single stack of this should also be good, right? I think I need more solarium, but I don't think it's going to be that much more. So, that might actually be enough of these alloy ingots as well. I'll let it hit 16. 16 feels like a good stopping point, because I only need it for the one thing. So there's that. That and that goes in there. That's going to take a while to run through. How's this doing? Yes, it is completed. I'll go grab the enduric lasers in a moment. There's 4 more magnetic coils. There we go. What is that? What do you need here? Easy, actually. How do you get a uranium pellet? Hold on. Uranium pellets. I was expecting this to jump out at me more than it currently is on this screen. So much uranium pellets. That is assembling uranium gems with adamantite or whatever. How do you get uranium gems? With the engraver. Okay, I looked at that and said, oh, that's going to suck. No, that's actually like super easy. It's just going to take a bit, and I'm going to need probably a bit more. How many do I need? That's 16 pieces of plastic, because it said a stack of that stuff, right? Yeah, stack of that stuff. So grab like a stack of copper dust, a stack of uranium dust, or 2 stacks of uranium dust, rather. Just toss them in the thing? Is it really that simple? I think it might legitimately just be that simple. Okay. So you go in here. I need to grab another hammer real quick, because that one's about to break. But in time, really quickly, as it's basically how long does it take this thing to run. So like so. I'll just mix those together. Hey, look, there's a bunch of uranium gems. I only need 32 of these things, but you know what? It's fine. I'll just let it run through. And then I'm going to need... There is my duradium. And I'm going to need a bit more plastic. I have 30, and this thing is not making any more. Let's see. Let's make a couple more dubious containers. 1, 2. I just feel like emptying out this thing rather than wasting the resources. And then I'll just run a few more pieces of plastic in a moment. But I'm just waiting on alloy stuff right now, right? Other than this stuff right here. I need diamonds, and I need eyes. I'm pressing the wrong button. Ender. Thank you. So that will start this. That will unlock Ore Vision. Oh, yep, that's just X-ray. I had a feeling that was just X-ray. And I'm just waiting for the alloy smelter, and I'm waiting for... I'm waiting on this thing, right? Oh, wait, no, that thing's done. Yeah, this is a not on all the time sort of thing. Oh, excuse me. But that is pretty cool just to have access to. I would have loved to get that way earlier on in the series, though. Like, we're kind of past the point where that's super useful. Apparently I made extra enduric lenses. Where is my infinite water thing? I think I accidentally tossed it away somewheres. Where is it? I was going to pull it out because I'm going to need it for... Oh, I guess I put it away properly. So fill that up with water and grab out a couple more blocks of biofuel. And then these things are going to run through, get a little bit extra plastic. But I think we're... Oh, wait, no, I don't need to do that. I'm not going to need extras amounts of this. That will just do. How is this thing doing? Let's finish up one thing at a time. I am way too scatterbrained for my own good. Let's finish up the last few things here. So, that's running. The uranium crystals. I take these things. I take plastic. Oh, we're so floaty now. Those things, plastic, and duradium. And then these things run through, and this is what produces those uranium pellets, right? Yes. I only need 16 pieces of plastic. In fact, that'll do. That will run through, get us 64, and that will be enough. You know what? I'm just waiting on a couple machines to finish running stuff through. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay. So I now have everything I need. I had way more uranium than I actually needed. It's a good thing I accidentally made 4 extra enderic lenses, because that's exactly how many I needed for that. And the Living Fortress is good to start up. Grants 10 extra health or 5 plus hearts. Thank you. Let's turn off invisibility for now. But with all of these kitted out, we still have to do the gateways before we end off the series. I kind of want to try it without armor now that we're all kitted up with those extra upgrades. In 2 minutes, that will be done. So I guess in the meantime, we can start working through the rest of the stuff. The solarium is done running, and we have this stuff. There's that. Actually, we don't need. What else am I missing for this? The slice and lice thing, this thing, I need. I'm pressing every wrong button. The energized bimetal, we're going to need a couple of these, and I'm going to need a couple of iron gears, right? Yep. So, that's these 2 of these gears. These things get turned into these. And these actually almost made double what we needed. And the encased thing, that's going to need a couple of solarium ingots, good enough, and a couple of pieces of quartz dust, which I'm assuming I can just take any old quartz. Or I think, and what, just put them in this crusher? I guess not. How do I get quartz dust? Can I use one of these hammers, for instance? Which I thought I would be able to put those things together and like combine the durability, but it didn't want to work. Okay, how do I get quartz dust? Wrong thing. Because quartz dust is fighting me. Quartz dust, powdered quartz dust. There's there's one. There's the other. Hold on. Quartz dust. Mechanism or attack, modern industrialization. Ah, the pulverizer, that'll do. Does the fragment forge work? It does, cool. I think this thing works for more or less everything the pulverizer does. So, yep, that's gonna run through just fine. It's just going to take a moment. I thought we were gonna get completely done today, but actually we're at almost 20 minutes. I spent way longer on the stuff than I was expecting, the bio upgrades. But with that, we need needs these, 1 set, and a second set run up just fine. That, and sold chassis, and a slice and splice. Cool. Now this thing, I'm assuming needs power, so just like put it here. Maybe it doesn't. Insert any capacitor so this machine can work. Error, install capacitor. So let's see. We need this thing to get 2 of these logics. I need a second zombie skull. I only have the 1. This thing I can get by getting a skeleton skull. Oh yes, I can just use a skeleton. Does this thing have a thing? No, I can just get a skeleton data model, which I did have handy. I almost forgot about these. This can just replace anything here. And let's just get the stuff I need. Or another batch of these. If I can press any of the right buttons that I want to. If I can just do anything I want to. There we go. Prediction models, those go in there. That will run through in just a moment. We'll get the extra skeleton skull, and then we'll just go turn that into a zombie skull with the Bloodforge thing. So, is that all we are missing? Like, how else does this machine work? Like, I know I need to do that. I need, to do... Did I really not have any... there we go. Silicon. I need some redstone. Did not mean to grab the lapis, but oh well. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, you can only do one at a time. So if I've remembered correctly, that is correct. Any old axe. I don't actually have any random axe on me, do I? I don't actually just have like a throwaway axe. I have no idea if I can just safely throw in like something that's supposed to be permanent. So just to be safe, let's just throw in this random one. Now we need a capacitor. Capacitor. Any capacitor. I'm assuming not the pneumatic craft ones. What is this mod from? Ender.io. That would be Ender. Vibrant capacitor bank. Basic capacitor. Will that work? Basic capacitor that requires gold nuggets and these grains of infinity, which I randomly got seeds for. So once again, I thought I might have to go hunting for something, and nope, it just have it straight away. So will this work? Will that just do? Yes, but it is very slow. So sure. As soon as this finishes up, saving world, of course. 1 second. Okay, world unfroze. I went into the computer, grabbed the skeleton predictions, and run them through the machine in order to get skeleton skulls. I'll just go turn one more of those into a zombie skull in a moment. But there we go. That took... Apparently it was just like the world-saving thing that shut it down, but apparently it did run pretty quickly. Still plenty of lag going on, though. So that just goes in like so. Should still have enough blood, get a zombie skull, and make a second one real quick. And with that, it is just going to be the enhancer relic. Which, yeah, I wanna get to the runic star altar block today. So apparently we're at time already, but I am just gonna go for it. Make another one of these real quick, and that's going to start running. Can I just go put these things into place so that as soon as I get the right relic, it will run just fine? Runic Star Altar. Sure. Let's get the last Z logic controller. Everything else can just like sort of go in here. Grab out this stuff. Come on. Come on. I've never used Ender.io. Like, I have no idea what that mod's even really about. It's just sort of there, and I guess it did stuff for us at the end here. So there's this. Be very careful not to destroy the forge itself. That and that. Grab out the pedestals, and I should probably grab out the gavel as well. That all around. And I don't think that order matters. Like, I think these can just go wherever, but just because I'm still going to keep it, like, mildly correct to what it's supposed to be according to this. So those two go from across from each other. Clockwise around, these things should be across from each other. And the quantum injector should be there. The Mundabitter should be next and again across from each other. Yep. And then finally up there is the loot bag piece. That and this. Loot bag. Finally is one more polished darkstone. That just goes in the middle. And I just need to go get the relic that's replacing that basic enhancer one with the Maledictus Pact. Cool. So, time to head over to the Nether to try and find a bastion real quick. Thankfully, we have our handy dandy ender compass, so that should be fine. I'm surprised I don't actually already have one. Like, I thought I cleared a couple of bastions. Like, is it a specific type of bastion? No. Bastion, remnants, other complexes. Let's do underground bastion is not a thing. I guess it's got to be the bastion remnants. Sure, there's one like 100 blocks this way. Like, I thought we already cleared this one pretty well, though. As I'm saying, I'm surprised we don't have the, I'm surprised we don't have one of these Maledictus Pact things. Like, that's already been cleared. Did I see one but not have inventory space for it? Like, am I misremembering something? Let's see. Yeah, this one's just not gonna have it. Let me fly like 1,000 blocks away somewheres and try to find this. Well, let's just double check this. Can I just search Maledictus? I can. So, recipes, it doesn't have one. Allows the creation of cursed items found in treasure bastions. Yep, I guess I'm just gonna fly off in a direction and hopefully find something? I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I flew about 500, 600 blocks or so. I found a second bastion already. So far, I've only found one chest in it, and it didn't have the thing, though. Although I have just barely started searching this thing, I'm sure there's at least a couple more chests to hunt through. If I had to guess, I would expect it to be in one of, like, big double chests at, like, the top of the thing, right? Like, that would be my best shot. Either that or it's going to be in, like, the big central area, like some bastions have. So, I'm just gonna keep hunting around in this thing for a little bit. Hopefully this one just has one and I don't have to search, like, 100 of these things to finally find the thing. But, I'm just gonna destroy this whole thing and hopefully just... There's a bunch of chests I can't see yet. What exactly is... Oh, that's cool, the magnet's going off. What exactly are you trying to do out here? Go away. Anyways, let me start destroying. I'm starting to second guess this whole magnet thing. Yeah, this is happening. This is equal parts pretty funny, but also just completely impossible to play in F1 anymore, or in, like, the normal vision. So let's just turn off the magnet for a second. I don't have high hopes for this bastion. I've destroyed more or less the entire thing, and still absolutely no sign of one of these Maledictus packs. So I think I'm gonna have to go hunting for at least a couple more and just get pretty lucky. It's apparently not like a guaranteed shot sort of thing. You know, I was talking and I was really hoping that I was just going to get, like, I was going to eat my words as soon as I opened that chest. I was really hoping to be proven wrong. But, no such luck, apparently. Oh, well, I might as well give it at least, like, one more bastion today. And before we end off, if I don't... I'm going to search, like, one or two more bastions before we end off. And go home and finish off, like, the last couple of things. Like, I don't think we actually picked up the extra baseline armor. I think we just researched it. So I'll pick that up as well before we end off today, too. But this bastion was a dud. Okay, so I'm on, like, the second or third new bastion afterwards. And so I've no sign of it. I have decided to just look up exactly what it means by found in treasure bastion. It means specifically, like, the really, really big ones where it's, like, a big building and then a separate building with, like, that big drop-off with, like, the multiple layers you can walk down. Like the bastion right next to spawn, where it has, like, that big pit at the bottom with, like, a bunch of gold and a treasure chest. It spawns specifically in those bastions, specifically in that treasure chest at the very bottom. So that's a thing. I have to run specifically through every bastion around the nether and hope to find both the right type of bastion and that said bastion actually has what I'm looking for. Like, this one's no good. This one, it has, like, the big building. It does not have, like, the big drop-down area with, like, the big gold chest in the center. So this one doesn't work. Yeah, this is gonna be a pain. Yeah. Like, I even found, like, one of the other big ones with, like, the double chest at the very top. Yeah, that one doesn't work. That's the wrong type of thing. Either that or I got unlucky. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is happening today. Apparently, also, you might be able to set up, like, a Piglin Brute spawner, and, like, the ones that specifically drop the backpacks. Sometimes the backpacks can randomly give you the right thing. Hold on. This should be the right type of bastion. Hold on. Hold on. No! Dang it. I was like, I'm rambling about how I'm not going to get the right type of bastion, then immediately get the right type of bastion. That would have been poetic. I would have loved to be wrong right there. Oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be. Let me... What is this? Oh, it's a respawn anchor. Cool. I don't think I've ever noticed that. I've never paid much attention. Bastions are cool. I'm glad they exist. There's not much super interested in them if you're not specifically hunting for like a specific item. Uh, Let me hunt for like another 10 minutes. Let me try and find like one or two other bastions. Hopefully one of them will be the real one. Like those ones are considerably rarer than other types, so I'm not too hopeful. Oh yes, also between episodes, I found a cool thing and almost completely forgot about it. I found a cave creeper. In fact, I found a couple. But yeah, at like start of the series, I was told, oh, you should be on the lookout for like these special cave creepers. Like they'll blow up and give you different types of ore or something like that. It's been a while since that happened. And in like 100 episodes, I saw them one time near the start of the series, and I didn't even get to kill it because it disappeared too soon. And I did not see another one for like 100 episodes after that or something like that. And I just found one as we're approaching the end of the series. So I saved it in the Ender, the Ender lasso, because you can use that thing to make a spawner from, and I figured why not. Anyways, no new bastions yet while I'm just rambling. Time to pull out this thing and start running around a bit more. Yeah, it's currently 11:03 real time. I'm gonna keep going until 11:15, I think. Okay, this is a no-go today. It's now 11:15 real time. Also, I noticed that the ghast actually have a new fireball animation. It's kind of cool. But it's a no-go. I've been hunting this whole time. Most of that, but the whole time, like without a compass. Because as soon as I went to start searching after pausing the recording there, I pressed Q instead of W and instantly threw the compass in a pit of lava with after turning off all of the magnet things so I could play the game. So that's fun. I did actually manage to find a pretty decent chunk of bastions, and almost all of them were actually the right type. Just none of them actually had the thing we need. So that's fun. I'm gonna have to go build another nature's compass. Thankfully, it's just like some Enderium. Or explorer's compass, rather. It looks super cheap. Like, I literally made Enderium gears just a little bit ago. But I obviously don't have the resources on me right now. Anyways, I should probably mark this as far out. I found plenty. I'm gonna have a better time finding new bastions, rather, out here anyways. Just, like, double check. I ran /locate one time. I'm just gonna do that. And you know what? I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna cheat for one more bastion today. It's the wrong type of bastion. Didn't even matter. Just double check this. I've ran into this bastion a couple of times. I've just, like, taken a quick look at the top stairs, chest, and nothing. So, yep, this just isn't going to happen today. We're gonna head home. We're gonna double check on that to make sure we properly have all of the cybernetic enhancements done. And then we're going to end off, hold on. Last chance on the day. Is this gonna give us the thing? No, it is not. Wait, did the internet lie to me? I don't think so. This feels correct. Like, this feels with, like, what it means when it says treasure bastion. Like, this is the most treasure, like, bastion out of all of them. Like, none of them have, like, this big, opening bit like this, with, like, the treasure, like, all at the bottom. So, I have some inventory management to go deal with. I think we're done with, I don't know. That. Then there's two chests over here I keep checking even though there's nothing ever in them. Nope. So, hold on. Portal back here. This just makes it super easy. And there's quite a bit of lag because of dimension hopping. Oh, there we go. Let's see. It is just this. I need 4 adamant ingots. If, of course, it's raining. Also, like, dimension hopping, rain, just a lot of stuff happening. We've been playing for a while, and every time I play for too long, the world just runs worse and worse. I don't think I'm still mid-backup. Yeah, the backup completed, so it's not that. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, the game is not running well, but it is technically running now. So, grab the adamant ingot and +5 natural. That is not correct. That was supposed to only give us 5 hearts, and then suddenly it gave us like 8. That's not what you said was going to happen. So, I don't remember what has spaces and things and what doesn't. I want to get just enough inventory space real quick so that I can take the armor off and see what our actual stats are looking like. So, inventory sucks right now. Okay. So, I didn't clear the inventory out completely. Like, backpack still looks like trash. But we do have, like, a proper hold of what our stats are looking like, because I can take off the armor, take off the amulet, the heart amulet, rather. I never actually fully kitted this thing out. I only got 16 extra hearts out of that, not like the full thing. But it looks like we have 15 extra hearts as a baseline, even without adding that in. But that's just like an extra little bonus. Hold on. Truly take everything off for a moment. I don't think any of the rest of that stuff actually gives us extra attack boost or anything like that. So just as a baseline, only these abilities on, turn on flash steps, turn on nothing else, because I think I already have everything else I actually want in there. 4.2, just as a baseline punch, but on the power fist, we get like a 40 eventually. Extra hearts, we go up to... I don't remember the order of the... I don't remember what color order those go in. That's either 41 hearts or 51 hearts. Actually, it could be 61 hearts, and I'm misremembering. I don't know. Red, orange, yellow, green. You know, that's probably 41 hearts. I think it's the full rainbow order. But anyways, that's probably a pretty good place to end things off. Even if I didn't have the rest of the recording from yesterday, I think we already have like a full episode here too. So this is just like really long. But sadly, we didn't quite get the Runic Star Forge today. I might try the thing that I saw about setting up a Piglin Brute spawner. Setting that thing up with no AI. I already have a Piglin Brute. Hold on. Piglin Brute. Yep, I already have these. Just grab a chorus fruit. Sadly, I think I do need to set this up in the nether. So... Hold on. Hold on, there's just like a Piglin Brute spawner right here, isn't there? Like, is this just a Piglin Brute? Piglin Brute. Okay, yes. I don't care about the bigger one. So here's this. Grab a chorus fruit. This will give it no AI, and then I'll give it the rest of the upgrades eventually. No AI. This thing will only spawn in Piglin Brutes. And then eventually, I just need to sit here, kill them, and the ones that give backpacks apparently have a random chance to give the right thing. So, you know what? That's fine, I guess. I don't know. I truly dislike how rare this thing is. Like, this thing is silly rare. I also need to double check what I've read and make sure I know what I'm doing properly. But anyways, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank everyone one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members, Yamato, Tanagura, and Goddess of the Starfilled Void. Thank you both so much for the extra support. For real now, take care, everybody.